that site. And now there is a committee for Congress. Mike, do you happen to know what the name of that committee is now? And it's basically the same thing. Senate Committee, Select Committee on Indian Affairs. It's basically the same committee now, but it's on the congressional side. Do you know what the name of that is? No, it's a newly established one, specifically for Native American issues. So there's another one that's out there that we're going to need to be targeting as well. I'm going to take a little break from talking. If you guys, somebody wants to have any questions, I can answer up till what I've covered up till now. Anyone?
Yeah, they're not violating like anything in the First Amendment, right?
Us or them? Them. It's called compelling interest. You have a definition of compelling interest, Mike? One of the things that's continually said when it comes to anything that goes against Native Americans is compelling interest, the governmental interest. What's in the best interest of the government? You can look at anything from the free exercise of religion, religious freedom. There's a lot of different things out there, and one of the things that continually is stated is that at one time it was that the government would not take any action that would have an adverse effect on the Native Americans. Let me help you out here. An adverse effect on Native American tribes, ways of belief. You know, anything that would change the way that we believe. And the only thing that would supersede that is that compelling interest part. What exactly is for the betterment of the government as a whole? If there's something that they could prove that it's in the government's best interest to have an adverse effect on our ways of belief, then they have the right to do that. In their mind.
Yeah. So we consume what possible.
Consume.
You know, kind of like it'd be like filing grievance with the tribe, and I would kind of put everything on hold, wouldn't it? A lawsuit with the file. That wouldn't mean that would kind of do away with having to have the permits right away.
It wouldn't stop it. No, it wouldn't stop it. I understand what you're saying until that determination was made. But in the interim, it would be business as usual. That however it is that they interpret those laws now would continue to be in effect until the determination to stop it was made. You know, if that really did pass.
You asked for more involvement with numbers, but how do we all get in there and say, who's going to file this lawsuit? Each tribe or individual? But I don't know about the nation.
Well, you could do it by individual tribe. Otherwise, there are other organizations out there, like within the region. You can go through Great Lakes Intertribal Council. You could go through the Midwest Alliance of Sovereign Tribes, which are regional Native American tribal organizations. Or you could go directly to the National Congress of American Indians for a suit like that. There are different options, and for those organizations that I was talking about, such as the Native American Rights Fund, they're really good advocates really good educated advocates for tribal rights. You know, there are different options available.
Yeah, but right now, we couldn't, as myself being an enrolled member of this, I couldn't go to like Justice Department and have them do it because basically they got to keep their hands off that. Otherwise, they've got to form a committee, meet about that, have a legislative executive session and all that. Otherwise, I couldn't get my whole thing tried on my own. That's kind of like a hands-off thing.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
I mean, I know they would kind of like form a committee for this, form a committee for that. Because everybody kind of wants to keep their hands on. As far as I know about that, because that's a sticky thing there. But I just want to know because otherwise we would probably have to go back to youth care and all that. Because right now I don't think the nation is really good.
I think that this is just what I think is that the legislature understands the complexity of the issue at that hand. You know, this isn't an issue that has anything to do with money. It isn't an issue of whether something of substance that we're going to gain or we're going to lose for the businesses or our land or anything. This is, you know, from what I continue to say, is an essence of who we are. The unique status of Native Americans in this country. Who we are. This is part of that. And at one time, I didn't think that we could address this issue at legislature while I was here. But the understanding of the legislators affords us the opportunity to be able to address this and to have a better understanding of who we are. And that's what we're fighting for, our people. In whatever way, shape, or form that we use these. You know, if we lose a part, and then there's another part, and there's another part in there, it's kind of a domino effect the way that I see it. You know, it's something that I think that in some way, shape, or form that the tribe would help to address. But the way that I was looking at it and what you were talking about was an individual filing suit. That's the way Cobell started. And then it ended up being
So as whole chunks though, I mean, are we waiting for other tribes to file this suit, or are we just kind of like, or should we just like get out and do it? That's what I want. Do we have to wait until somebody else does it and try their coattails, or should we just kind of like do it ourselves? And if we can, if we're able to file this suit as a nation, should we do it like right away, or it gets worse, or we're just going to wait till things actually get worse, which they probably are.
I guess one of the questions that I would have on that would be, what's the end product? I mean, what would you ask for?
Well, it's just that that is an unfair, it's a violation of First Amendment rights, even with that, even the way they address this. But to have Christian and gaming under controlling religious rights, that shouldn't even fall under the jurisdiction. Yeah, the birds, I get it. Like the wildlife, fishing, gaming, I get that part. But if we're using it as a religious thing, their hands shouldn't be even in there. I mean, but we file suit against Christian and gaming, the red guy in this committee. I mean, I just want to know if the nation is going to be acting on this, or are we going to wait until like a new administration gets in again? Or should we just have me on church house? I could probably do it anyway. But I just want to know. I mean, if they're not going to do anything right away, the new administration, which I'm kind of thinking they aren't kind of, they want to come in and be out there, and they don't want to go out there, get in there. And, but yeah, I was just wondering if that's going to happen right away, because otherwise, as a church officer, you got a business meeting with them. We policy as an unfair practice, just for our local church, then that would probably be the way I have to go. Because otherwise, we're going to sit there and let them tell us what to do, or otherwise we're going to just say, hey, no, so you guys just unfair to us as indigenous people. So we should not wait around, really, right?
Well, that's the way to go. Right now, I've been appointed by legislature as a representative to that Eagle Feather committee, and from the legislature, from the Ho-Chunk Nation, we haven't talked about filing suit officially. And from the committee perspective, which is a culmination of all these different people and those tribes that are involved, we haven't talked about, while we haven't taken any action to file a suit. We have discussed it. One of the things that needs to be taken into consideration is exactly what is the ask? What is it that you're looking at? Do you just want to file suit and tell them that you're not fulfilling the obligation of the Constitution of the United States by allowing us a free exercise of religion? Or is it something, do you want to go on the coattails of the UN Declaration on Indigenous Peoples' Rights, which would actually probably be better these days? My attempt is to get an understanding of exactly what you're looking for. Do you just want to make a statement, or do you really want to change something? And if so, what is it that you want changed?
Yeah, well, because the way they're acting is that, because it's got to be in that treaty somewhere, at the beginning, that we could use that for religious purposes, flag art, flag whistles, and all that. But it's got to be in there somewhere from the get-go. Now, if they're going to come over and supersede that, there's a process for that, but I would go under like discrimination first. That's the first thing I would do. They're discriminating against us when all these other people have all these other things. Catholic Church, Lutherans, they got all these other things. Yeah, they don't use feathers in there, but yeah, they use other things that are be like the same plants. So, like, you're going to take away cedar nets, stuff like that. So I would have to say it would have to go right straight under either the violating the treaty that they once had, or they're discriminating. But I would have to talk to that. So people mind about that. I would.
Well, one of the things that would make I think that needs to be determined is the federal government's interpretation on Native American tribes. There have been different even within the paperwork that they have themselves. We're some kind of quasi-jurisdictional governmental entity within the borders of another country. Another one is a sovereign to sovereign. We are our own nation. We are our own people. We are our own government. So the government-to-government relationship, that should be there. I guess, for me, that's what I would say, that's what we should be looking for them to say. And then if you look in other paperwork, in full effect right now, is that we are considered wards of the government, where they take actions that would be in our best interest. So in order to make a determination of what kind of suit you would need to find out exactly what type of a suit are you doing, as what. And there's also one in there about dual citizenship for Native Americans.
So, this committee that you're on,